On it, telling you, Amy, already on it, already recording. So put the guns down and no more noise.
Yeah, so otherwise we'd just be like, oh, by the way, in the background is my girlfriend.
No, we'd just say there's a dickhead in the background who won't stop making noise, and if she keeps making noise, then she'll have to get out. Intro.
Good intro. Yeah, beef.
What is up, everybody? I'm hoping you're all well, and welcome back to Let's Talk WWE, a series that we haven't done in a very, very long time.
Money in the Bank.
Wanted to do.
Yeah, we wanted to do it. Money in the Bank 2019.
Yes, it was.
Or maybe 2018. I can't remember.
I think it was 2019. Was it 2019? Yeah, I feel like it was 2019.
2019.
Amy's nodding and saying yes, so it's 2019. But we're back, and we've just finished watching Backlash of this year, and you know,
Interesting.
Let's first just get out of the way that this whole COVID shit has obviously not allowed an audience to be here, so I'm going to just touch on the fact that it doesn't have the same atmosphere that a lot of live events would do. There's a lot of moments where audiences are normally going to pop, which then gets you excited as well when you're watching it alongside. So when there are moments like that in the show and you're not hearing that pop, you're not hearing that energy,
it takes it away a little bit.
It can take away a little bit, but you can't fault WWE for trying what they're trying to do, and they do some things very well, which we will get into, especially with a particular tag team match, which I'm very excited to talk about.
Oh, that was fun.
It was amazing.
That was fun.
But yeah, we'll talk about the main event, well, the entire event itself, and we'll start off with the pre-show, which we didn't actually watch, unfortunately. No. We had to get around to watching the pre-show, but we do know the outcome that Apollo Crews retained the United States Championship against Andrade, wasn't it?
Andrade, yep.
So we can't comment so much on the match.
No, but we can comment on Apollo's actually getting a push.
Yeah, we've wanted Apollo to have a push for quite a while.
Yes, I'm liking the fact that he's going to push, but again, I think it's the wrong time because of the COVID-19. They've only got limited superstars and they've got limited things to do, and I think they just gave him the belt to say, you know, give him a bit of a push, here you go. And
it could possibly be that, but I'm also hoping that maybe if he proved himself during this time that they'll keep the belt on him for a little longer and hopefully do something with him.
Hopefully, yep.
Do you want to take the first match or shall I go first?
I'll take the first match, and this was actually interesting. It was the triple threat women's tag team between Sasha, Bayley, the Iconics, and Alexa and Nikki Cross, which was actually a fun match. But it was quite interesting because of all the previous triple threat tag teams, there's always like a member from each team and then another.
2 people are in, and then the rest of them are around, and you can tag anyone from any team.
But this one started interesting because it was 3 people in the ring at the same time, and I don't know how I felt about it. I can understand them trying something different, but for me it did not work because it got a little bit muddled, it got a little bit messy, they're all ganging in together, and it's like,
Like when it's a tag team match, you know that people are going to run in anyway, but the ref can normally always calm that down. When you've got 3 other superstars that can run in while there's also 3 superstars already in the ring fighting each other, that's when it can become very messy and you can lose track of things a little bit. I don't think they pulled it off in a bad way. I think it was a fairly decent match.
To try something different.
There was some good few near falls.
Yeah, there were actually a few near falls, but then obviously the
finish,
ending.
As Simon Miller always says, the most devastating move in all of wrestling entertainment.
The surprise roll-up after Alexa Bliss did the Twisted Blitz on Peyton Royce, and then Sasha came in and did the surprise roll-up and retained, which
I feel it would have worked better if they'd have pushed Alexa out of the ring and then Sasha stole the victory on Peyton.
But instead they did the surprise roll-up, and again it's the surprise
But I am happy that they are keeping the bets on Sasha and Bayley, because again, like with WrestleMania, that's when shit kind of went a bit wrong with Sasha and WWE.
That's when she just basically,
what reports are.
Yeah, she basically just went, right, we got promised this long tag from the first time they had it. They had it a fair couple of months, but obviously they wanted to get something more to it. They wanted
to give it some prestige, because it was obviously the first few times that it had been held by anyone. And I'm hoping that this time they actually do that, because they are good as a team, they're great as a team, and when they do lose their championships eventually, for hopefully a good while. But then after that, hopefully the rivalry that we've been talking about for a while is... That everyone's been talking about for years.
Yeah, they've been talking about it for years, since Brooklyn 2, when they did the NXT TakeOver, a rematch between them. And that would be pinnacle.
Yeah, WWE have teased it so many times, so they finally need to pull the plug, and I feel like having the belts on them for a good while and then eventually losing them, trying to battle to get it back, and then one of them blaming the other, that's when I feel they can really flesh out that feud. So that'll be really interesting to see.
But overall, that match was actually pretty decent. The ending could have been better.
Yeah, I agree.
But predicted, because we all predicted that they were retained, so...
Yeah, we predicted that they'd retain, except for Amy, who predicted Alexa and Nikki would win.
Yeah, because, you know, she doesn't do wrestling, which is understandable, but at the same time it was like...
Yeah, I don't think they know our prediction system, do they? Yeah, we essentially before we start watching any sort of WWE main event, we predict we predict who we think is going to win, and then obviously whoever wins, we get the point if we win. If we don't, we don't.
It's just a friendly competition between us.
That's a friendly competition, but I won.
By 1 point. I mean, I've beaten you by 2 points before.
Yeah, but you stood next to me like a loser. So, the next thing we're going to talk about isn't the match, it's the advertisement for the next pay-per-view, which is going to be Extreme Rules, and they unveiled the new Extreme Rules logo.
And let's just say it is absolutely horrible.
It's too bright.
Too bright. It's basically purple and green, which... Lime green, whichever, it's still green.
It's green. It's green.
It's bright green.
Do you want to leave? That's what I thought. But yeah, the logo looked like shit, and we didn't like the logo at all. As soon as we saw it, both of us audibly went, ugh!
No, I definitely prefer the old logo. It makes it so much better. It makes it actually seem like an Extreme Rules. This just looks like WrestleMania 34, the New Orleans colour type thing, Mardi Gras.
It works for some sort of pay-per-views, but for Extreme Rules, I feel like it needs to be dark. It needs to look like it's a dark sort of pay-per-view.
It needs to be
it's extreme.
Hardcore. Hardcore Extreme, but... The Extreme Rules logo? No. Just no. Just do no. That's no.
That's not a no, that's a yes.
That is a yes for effect, but
You're
no.
A fucking retard.
Fuck that shit. Extreme Rules logo? No. So the next match after the Extreme Rules logo is the Jeff Hardy Sheamus match. And I want to quickly say something about this with the whole storyline about Jeff's past with his drug and his drink problems. I'm hit and miss with it because WWE is trying to do something, but at the same time, when you're bringing in somebody's own personal demons into a storyline, if he's comfortable, fair enough. Anything else, I'm not real comfortable because it's reminding Jeff of his past, and I'm pretty sure, as anybody else has had trouble past with those kind of things, you want to forget about it. You want to remind yourself to say not go back to it, but you don't want to be reminded. And
But in that again, if Jeff did want it to be a part of his thing, if he was happy with that storyline being what he wanted to do, then I'm happy to say that it's a fine storyline, provided Jeff was fully behind it. But when it comes to these sorts of matches, you need to have the face win. You need to have the face have that victory to overcome his demons and actually triumph. And the outcome of this match, he lost. Sheamus beat him, the heel beat him. And unless they continue the feud a little bit more and build on it more, and then Jeff comes out on top at the end, then that's great. But in terms of storytelling, I think the face should always be able to overcome his demons by beating someone who is trying to push those demons onto him, or try and say, these demons are your flaws.
And even then, even though Sheamus won, it gives Jeff a chance to, redeem himself kind of there, so he can win the next match and then they have the final one. But I even said to you earlier, didn't I, is that with Sheamus being the person that Jeff is facing and bringing his personal demons back, I don't feel like it's the right person for Sheamus to do that.
No, I think we talked about it being Matt Hardy, didn't we? If Matt Hardy was
that's what I mean, but obviously WWE fucked Matt Hardy over and that's just completely wild. But I feel like for that kind of storyline, it needs to be somebody that's very close to Jeff, i.e. his brother, or somebody else that's been in that same situation before, so they know what they're going through. So then it's like that reminder to say, I've been through this before myself, but I'm going to remind you, being that proper heelish thing. But again, see how well it goes, but I'm not too comfortable with it. I would say I'm not too
I'm comfortable with it, and like yourself, the match itself was fine. It wasn't anything to shout about. Sheamus looked really good, even in his shape. Since he's returned, he's been in top physical shape from what I can tell.
He's been that proper heel.
He's been a very good.
Everybody hates him.
He's very good as a heel. I don't like Sheamus as a face. I can see him as a comedic character, but I always see him as a heel.
Yeah,
it fits him more.
He's just that. It's the look of him as well. He's this big, broad guy.
Yeah.
He has to be.
He works with it more. It works with him. Exactly. He seems to have a lot of fun with it.
So yeah, that Jeff Sheamus match was pretty decent, but
it was fine. Nothing to shout about.
Nothing to shout about. It's there. Something to enjoy, like some little moments, but mainly just Sheamus beating down on Jeff. So
pretty much, yeah.
Yay.
The next match was for the Raw Women's Championship, and that was Asuka defending her championship against Nia Jax. Now, Nia Jax has returned, so we all knew she was going to be quite a dominant force.
Yeah, she's always been dominant anyway.
She has done.
Always.
Obviously, now Asuka's gone back to being face after the return of Nia going heel. To be fair, the heartwarming moment, obviously, at the end of Money in the Bank, or the Raw after Money in the Bank, where
something you did not know about. I did know about it because obviously I've seen the results. I know what's happening, but you didn't.
I didn't know about that. I knew about it when you told me about it the week after Raw, but I forgot about it until I saw the flashback. I was like, oh shit, yeah. Obviously, the
Congratulations,
announcement
Becky.
that Becky is pregnant, so yeah, congratulations to Becky and Seth there. But yeah, she handed over the Raw Women's Championship to Asuka, which then announced pregnancy, and then Asuka hugged, and it was a nice face moment, it was a nice friendly moment. And then Nia Jax came out and ruined that, so the feud was built up fairly well. Nia is one of those performers where she's very aggressive in ring, and while it does suit her character in that it can leave superstars getting injured, so I am always on edge when I'm watching her matches. While it works in storyline aspect, for Kairi Sane, for example, who apparently was injured in their match
the week before, they did like a version of the Buckle Bomb, which is now...
didn't go great.
No, it didn't. It kind of like did something to Kairi. I don't know if it like concussed her a little bit, but even then, with that happened, WWE basically said that is now banned, along with the power driver and other moves like that. Maybe in time, when they actually do it properly right, they'll bring it back. But again, just because, like you said, Nia is supposed to be the dominant force in the ring. She's big, so she's going to be dominant. But at the same time, though, her in-ring skills are very hit and miss. She can be good in like slowing things down, being this big powerhouse. But when it comes to fast stuff and other things like that, I generally worry for the opponents, because I feel like if something goes wrong here, that's not going to go down well.
Yeah.
But again, the match itself was...
The match was fine. It was very slow, and it was very much Nia dominated for the most part, I think, until obviously Asuka got back on her feet, and then she retained, obviously Asuka retained her title. Would have been weird to take it off her straight away.
But you know, how it ended was the weird one that we didn't like.
Yes, it was.
It was a double count out, and even though technically, yes, Asuka retained, but at the same time though, it was like...
Yeah, we didn't really like that it was a double count out victory, but then again, it's something to keep the feud going. Like, I don't mind double count out victories sometimes when it works, but for some reason it felt very awkward here. I don't know whether
it didn't seem like it ended like as a double count out.
I felt like Asuka was supposed to get back in the ring, but something went wrong.
Yeah,
but either way, Asuka retained due to a double count out, so she's still the women's champion, but they will continue that feud by the looks of it.
And Extreme Rules and doing whatever else. Yay. So the next match after the Asuka Nia Jax Raw Women's Championship match was the 2-on-1 handicap for the Universal. And
now before I let you talk about the match, can I?
No, that's what I'm about to say. I'm just going to look to you and be like...
Thank you very much, because Miz and Morrison released a single.
It's good.
It's one of the best things I've ever heard in my entire life. I loved it. I've never laughed so hard. I haven't laughed so hard in so long at a WWE pay-per-view. I absolutely loved it. And if it's on Spotify or Apple Music or anything like that, 100% I'm getting to it, 100% I'm listening to it, 100% when we're in the car going somewhere, I'm playing it, because it is so funny. I loved it.
But then as you was getting into it, that's when Braun Strowman...
Oh yeah, Braun interrupted it, but frick.
Yeah, but then again, the match itself though was quite entertaining.
The match was very good actually, and they did a very good job of grounding Braun a fair amount throughout that match.
Because you got Morrison as you got Morrison as the quick one, like obviously you got the speed, the agility, and you got Miz that is the conniving, sneaky one. So it worked well together. And then even then, like in some parts of the match where Morrison was pinning, Miz pulled him off.
Yeah, because obviously there was that stipulation of whoever pins the champion will become the champion, despite the fact those two were thinking that both of them would be joint champion.
But no.
So when Morrison was on the top of Braun, it looked like they were going to win. Miz instinctively pulled him off,
and then realised.
Shit!
I made a boo-boo.
So it is going to cause tension between those two, and again, I do think that those two, at some point, maybe not yet, but at some point, will definitely feud, and they'll be very good. But I do love them together. I love what they're doing. I think they're clearly having so much fun as a team that they're very entertaining, and I'll love to see them together for as long as possible.
That's the thing about Miz, though. Whatever he's given, he works with it.
Oh yeah, he gives it his all. He's one of the best workers in WWE.
So I can't fault him for that, but at the same time, though, again, match was entertaining. Braun obviously won, so hopefully when actually audience and superstars and everything like that come back after all this pandemic, I wonder what they're going to do now with Braun. Are they going to actually put him in a big feud, or is he just facing off little guys?
They need to put him in some sort of big feud, because there needs to be some sort of challenge for his belt, which is why I think they've been doing a lot of the 2-on-1 things for belts, like obviously Intercontinental Championship and now Universal Championship. Yeah. It's all been fairly against Braun in that sense, but that's because no one can really match up to him. He has like a fucking tank.
Well, he is the Strowman Express, so you know he's a big train. He's a big train, but all in all, it was a good match.
I enjoyed the match. I thought it had some very comedic moments. Miz and Morrison tagged out very well. The match itself was really enjoyable.
It flew, it went fast. It was good.
So the next match was the WWE Championship between Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley. Now, I love Drew McIntyre as a champion. I think he is so fucking good.
Since he's become a face, he's got this comedic side of him.
Yes, he's clearly soaking it all up.
Yeah,
he's having a lot of fun with it. And obviously, Bobby Lashley as the heel with his manager MVP, which I really think is good. I actually think they make a good pair.
Yeah, they do actually. They really do.
He's proper healing it up in this, and I actually really got behind it. And also, because of him healing it up, he was very dominant in this match.
Yeah.
He controlled most of this match.
That was quite surprising, because even then there was a few close calls of the pinfalls and thinking, ooh, Bobby's got a chance here. And then obviously in the end, Drew retained.
And Lana came down to the ring, which caused a distraction. So it still kept Bobby strong in that sense that he can say, well, I blame you for me losing. You distracted me.
That's what
and it kept his dominance strong there. It also kept the champion strong for having that win. Good match overall. I actually really enjoyed it, and I actually felt a little scared for Drew. I actually got a bit scared that he might lose it.
Yeah, and hopefully in the Extreme Rules, I want to say it would be the end of that chapter, but who knows?
We'll have to see, won't we?
I feel like it will.
It was a slow match, I'll give it that. That's the only issue I had with it. It's a slow match, but it is two powerhouses going against each other, so you're not going to expect fast movements here and there. It's not going to be a fast-paced match, but I enjoyed it.
But overall, that was a good match, and let's see what's happening. So, after the WWE Championship match, we went to literally the best match of the night.
The best tag team championship match ever seen on WWE TV.
So this is the thing you don't know about. I've seen highlights of what the Street Profits and Viking Raiders have done over the last couple of weeks, of this like rivalry of doing what you can do, I can do better types of things, where it's like the Viking axe throwing stuff, golf, bowling, the whole job lot, anything that is like entertainment wise. Yeah, this was a very different sort of entertaining, and I loved every single second of it.
I loved every minute of this. We should say it wasn't a match. The tag team championship match is going to be done later on. I don't know why that was, whether there was a bit of a transport issue or scheduling issue. I don't know.
I don't even know.
I don't know what. It's clearly pre-recorded, obviously, that thing. But I don't know why they didn't have a match on Backlash. But the actual thing they did, the segment itself, was so entertaining. Like, I was in stitches laughing at it. I mean, it was so funny.
Ivor, like, there were moments where Ivor was like dazed, and then he's like going back into a dream. There was like
bits about Ivor's cute though, isn't he?
He is cute.
Eric, not so much.
Yeah, but even still, there's like Ivor's like dreaming of this ham, and then people are saying to him, "Oh, you're cute, but you know something like it."
The Thor hammer with the ham.
Yeah, there you go. And also as well, like the bowling ball. This thing, honestly, is one of those you have to watch to understand. And even if you don't understand, you got the entertainment.
Like, again, it's something that I admire WWE for doing, considering the state that they're in at the moment. They're trying to go cinematic with some of the things that they're doing. Obviously, Money in the Bank was the way they tested the waters there, and I thought that was very well done.
Yeah.
But the way they did this, I commend them. Like, it was such a fun way of showing these guys having a bit of a feud, but also
entertainment.
Saying, oh, also, your little thing when you accidentally.
So so last night, this is when we wrote our predictions of each match and who we think is going to win. And then as I was writing mine, I left it like second to last to write down the tag teams, just because I did not know who it was. And what I did with mine is I actually started writing out, I think it was I started writing out Vikings. I meant to say Viking Raiders, because I thought, you know what, it could potentially do it. And then as I was writing Vikings, I looked to where I wrote the Street Profits, which is bang next to each other, and my brain just went automatically, was like, Profits. So then together it was Viking Profits.
And we had a bit of a giggle about that, because you know, you were being dumb and you're a retard, but clearly you're psychic or something, because my god,
it came true, and I loved it, because they are officially known at that time for that split 30 seconds ish, the Viking Profits, and I loved every second of it. When it happened, the biggest grin on my face happened, and you're just looking at me.
It was so buzzed for you. Like, honestly, it was great. I thought you were psychic. Like, you must have predicted something then, because that was even before the show had even started. So no spoilers or anything like that. Oh my god, it was amazing.
But yeah, we also got at the end of it as well, considering it was not a match, it was like, is it a draw? What is this situation? So we just basically said null and void. So
yeah, null and void, no points for that one given. But overall, it was so funny. It ended a bit abruptly, I will say that.
It did.
They were stuck in like a trash can, and then some sort of tentacle creature sort of came after them. And I just saw Amy in the corner going like that, tentacle creature coming after them. So other than it ending abruptly like that, I loved it.
I think that was
great.
the best part of the event, like the entire event, other than the main event, which is next anyways, but you know, still though, it's great. I loved it.
So yeah, the main event was, of course, has been pushed to being one of the greatest wrestling matches of all time
And
between
some parts,
Randy Orton and Edge. Obviously, we had a match at WrestleMania, which was the last man standing match.
Which was good. Had some moments, but what they tried doing with it, with the cinematography,
made it very cinematic.
Yeah, which worked.
And again, this time they went all out for it. They did a very good job. The wrestling match itself was very technical. It was very fast paced, but also slowed down when it needed to be. I was very worried about Edge. Can we be careful with Edge, please?
Because you know the internet and everything.
Every time he's in the ring and he does something or he takes a bump around that sort of thing. It was like when Daniel Bryan came back and he started throwing himself around the ring. I was like, can we be careful with Daniel Bryan, please?
But yeah, this match was...
It was great.
It was
really enjoyed it.
It was
not the greatest wrestling match of all time.
No, but
really good.
The idea of it being the greatest wrestling, because they had history, we know about the history of Randy and Edge, so I can understand why. And they did do some moves from the classic, like the rock bottom, the kill switch, you know it as, I call it, I'm pretty.
It's the kill switch,
Yeah, okay, something like that. And then what else is in rock bottom, kill switch?
The pedigree, they did the angle slam.
Yeah, they did things like that.
Crossface came back a bit as well.
So yeah, they did things like that to bring it the true wrestling category, I would say. But then there were some things that we were quite annoyed about, and that is the added audience noise that did not fit together.
This segment was pre-recorded.
A week before.
In doing so, I think WWE added a lot of the audience noises to have "This is awesome,"
which did work in some way.
Stuff like that.
It did fit in, but only very few times. Like people shouting out, "This is awesome!" That is like the folklore. And then when the camera pans to the audience, you just see the audience more like shouting, like, you know, saying go on, this and that. It didn't fit together.
It could work, but it's also how it's blatantly obvious that it is a recording, and it honestly really put me off. Like, nothing against the match at all, because the match was really good between them.
Really
but that
there were some parts as well with the camera angles as well.
I mean, there was the first camera angle where they grappled and it was above the top, and I was a bit like, no, don't do that. That's a bit.
But even then, like the camera being in the ring after a suplex, that wasn't
too bad. I won't lie about that. But I did feel a bit weird. It's like, why is the cameraman in the ring?
But I preferred the over the head.
I do like the bird's eye view.
That's what they should bring about more often. I think they should bring that. But overall, that match itself, 45 minutes nearly of technical
wrestling between
you can
two
actually
legends.
feel the hatred, you would say, between them, because Randy did delve into Edge's personal life, brought his wife into it, kids, so you can feel that. But altogether, that match itself was really good, and the fact
that both of them know each other so well obviously helped it become even better, and they knew how to keep each other safe, especially with Edge's injury.
But the overall, Randy won. But at the same time, there was reports as well that Edge got injured with his tricep during the match. I don't know what point, don't know how serious. If he
hopefully it's not very serious, and he can
hopefully
come back fairly quickly if a few can continue as would.
Because I think they would have finished at Extreme Rules or maybe SummerSlam. I think SummerSlam would definitely be the finish, but obviously with this injury, we don't know how long. That is yet to be seen. But overall, the entire event, not really any boring matches per se.
There wasn't really a bad pay-per-view. Like, there were some slow matches here and there, but on a technical standpoint, the matches were fairly decent. I really enjoyed it. There were a lot of really funny moments. Obviously, the Miz and Morrison's little single release, and the Street Profits and Viking Raiders. That entire segment was just phenomenal. It was a really good pay-per-view overall.
I think it definitely would be a lot better if audience members were there again.
Yeah, like the amount of times there were near falls with Edge and Randy as well, that you just know when they kicked up, everyone would be going, "Oh my god!"
Literally, the stadium would be rocking. But hopefully, when this all blows over quickly, can get back to normality. We can get back to being on the edge of the seat kind of thing.
Yeah.
But are we going to do our rating system?
Yeah, we'll do a rating system out of 10. You can go first, my friend.
So the overall of WWE Backlash of 2020, I would say I'll give it at least 6.5 stars.
6.5. 6.5. See, I'm going to be nice. I'm just going to give it that extra half. I'm going to go 7 out of 10.
Okay, that's fair. I think, but then again, 6.5. But I would say that the highlights of the night: Street Profits, Viking Raiders, the main event. That for me was the main point.
And the Miz and Morrison single release. I mean, I'm going to annoy you with it now, but at the point, it would have been great. But now you know I'm going to annoy you with it, you probably hate it more.
More likely, yeah. But at the same time, after a while, I might see the entertainment value of it. But overall, that was a great pay-per-view, and I liked it.
Really good pay-per-view overall. Yeah, really glad that we're hopefully going to be starting doing this again, because it's
please. We left it nearly a year, and I've been saying to you, can we get back to it? I wanted to do it for fucking WrestleMania. This guy just went, nah.
I'm sorry, I like the motivation.
But then again, the WrestleMania was
Yeah, we probably would have ripped the WrestleMania to shreds.
Yeah,
anyway, thanks ever so much for watching, guys. Thank you for joining me as always. Kyle, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you want to see more videos just like this one, then subscribe to my channel for more. Thanks again for watching. You guys are awesome, and I will see you all in the next video.